Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Officer Tony, and what the hell was that? Come on! Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Officer Tony Woods, and today's episode is about single coil pickups. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk a ton. Let's just start the crappy video.
Hello, Richard from budgetguitarist.com, and today it's the single coil show. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shoot out 4 guitars that have single coils against each other. I'm going to record them in Logic Pro in a track with bass and drums, and then I'm going to mix them all together, and you can kind of do like a comparison in the track and see what each one sounds like. The contestants for today are, number 1, the Telecaster from last week. So we have Fender Custom Shop Texas Special pickups in a MIM made in Mexico Telecaster. Number 2, my Fender Stratocaster. This has Fender Custom Shop Texas Special pickups also, so that should be interesting. Number 3, this is my Gibson Les Paul 50s Tribute from 2013. Now, if you're really familiar with the lineup for that year, you'll know that the pickup covers and this ring here were originally black, and I swapped them out for the tan because it looks more historically accurate, and I just thought it looked cooler. The black covers look cool too, though. But anyway, P90 pickups. These sound a little bit more like a humbucker, so you'll hear that. And number 4, this is my PRS S2 Satin 24, but it has a Seymour Duncan pearly gates in the bridge, and I've got it split. So we're really only hearing one of these 2 coils. I believe it's this one that we're hearing. And so we're going to be comparing that, because it's technically a single coil, with the rest of the lineup. So of these 4 guitars, which one's going to sound the best? For an amp, we're using the HX Stomp. We're using the Plexi Bright, right, which is like a Marshall Plexi. And I've set it to just the edge of breakup. So it's breaking up just a little bit. It's kind of like a clean sound, but with a little bit of grit on it. And so without any further ado, whatever that means, we are going to check out the track. So let's check it out. Okay, so since we have a little bit of time left before the end of the video, I thought I would talk you through my sound here. So I call this patch Strat Crunch 1. Starting out here, I've got the input set to automatic. It looks like I've got the noise gate turned on and pretty stock settings. After that, we've got the deluxe compressor. We've got this compressing pretty hard, 10-to-1, with a threshold of 42.0 dB. And so as I'm playing this, 10-to-1 might seem like a lot, but depending on where you set the threshold, that's what really has the impact. I've got the attack set to not be super quick, so you can hear a lot of the attack of the instrument. Relatively quick release, etc., etc. Next we have a Minotaur pedal, which is not actually turned on, so I might use that if I wanted more gain. Next we can see my settings for the Brit Plexi Bright amp. So this is basically a Marshall amp. And I've got the drive set to 2.1, and I've got the bass cranked up. You can see like I've got the drive low enough that it's just starting to break up. It's got a little bit of grit to it, but if you play lightly, it still sounds pretty clean. And you can see the rest of my settings here. I've got the master turned all the way up, bass, mid, treble, a little bit of a mid boost here. Now when we move on to the IR file, you're going to see that I'm using my favorite IR, and that is patch number 3, which is the Friedman 412 cabinet with vintage 30s, and it's mic'd up with a 57. And this, of course, is the Own Hammer pack. I would strongly recommend, if you only get one IR pack, get the Own Hammer Friedman collection, because as you can see, there's tons of great things in here. And then finally, I've got just a little bit of plate reverb. You know, I've got the mix set at 30%, so I'm not drowning it. And there you go. That is my Strat Crunch 1 sound. I particularly like the way this sounded on the Telecaster. Well, there you have it. I have my own personal opinions, and, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and share them. The P90 definitely sounds the fullest. It sounds the most like a humbucker. And so in some ways I thought the P90 sounded the best. It just depends. It also didn't have that sparkly high end. But to my mind, of the other guitars, the other one that sounded the best was the Telecaster. When comparing the Tele and the Strat, I thought the Strat sounded too thin. I've never been a big fan of just the bridge position on a Stratocaster. I think it sounds too thin. But on the Tele, it sounds magnificent. This guitar I thought sounded really, really good. I could be happy with either of these two. And of the four, the guitar that I thought sounded the thinnest and the one that disappeared in the mix the most was the Pearly Gates, listening to only one coil. So the split coil Pearly Gates. I've never been a fan of splitting humbuckers because a humbucker is not just two single coils combined. It's really like an art and a science to figure out how to wire both of those coils so that when they work together, they sound really good. When you just listen to one of them separately, at least in the case of this pickup, I don't think it sounds very good at all. Together, they're my favorite pickup. But split the coils and no. I mean, you could argue it didn't sound bad, but it definitely disappeared in the mix. And the two that didn't disappear the most, in my opinion, were the Tele and the P90s. So anyway, there you go. No, let me try that again. So there you go. For this type of song, I might put a humbucker on one side, and on the other side, I might do a single coil. Which one of these two would I do? I'd probably record both, and I'd blend them in the mix and just see what worked better. But either one is a winner. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, click the like button. You can click the bell if you want to. That'd be great. But honestly, you know the drill by now. We always release videos at the exact same time, the exact same day. And so we will see you next Friday at 5.
What the hell was what the hell was that?